Hey everyone, thanks so much for joining me. So, I wanted to bring some information about budgeting. So, recently I was talking with someone about this, and one of the most important things to start budgeting is to one, write down everything, like all of your income, all the money that's coming in for the month. Um, So let's say, it's easier maybe for you to do it for last month. So for April. So for the entire month, you would write down the entire amount of money, all of the money that you brought in for the month. And then next, write down all the bills, all the expenses, all the things you need to spend money on every month. And now some things will be it just depends. Like some things will be unexpected for you. Say, for example, you might have, I don't know, a dentist appointment that you need to go to, and that's not something that you do every month. But this month you need to go to the dentist, or I don't know, maybe you need to take a trip, but it's a vacation, um, but you don't do that every month. So you're writing down the expenses for that. But either way, you need to write down all the money that you need to spend for the month. And now, what you have left over is all of the money that you brought in minus all the money that you need to spend for the month. And you need to write it down. The bill, the amount that's due, the date that it's due, all of that. Write down all of that so you can keep track of it. And every month you need to keep track of the bill, the date that it's due, the amount that's due, how you pay it, when you pay it, and all of that. Okay? So then once you find out how much you are bringing in, how much you have to spend in expenses, then you can know what is left over for you to save, or if you have other things that you need to invest in, or things that you want to purchase, that you're saving for, things like that. Just think about that. And if you're not bringing in more than you're spending, you gotta, one, get your spending under control. So spend only what is necessary in the beginning, because you gotta get yourself and your expenses under control. And then you need to start thinking about um, what are you doing with the money, and how can you find ways to, like I said, you cut your expenses. Then you need to figure out how you can save, and how you can make more money. So you want more money coming in, and you need to figure out what your financial goals are. So is it that you want to save for a vacation every year, or once every 6 months, or maybe it's more often than that? Maybe you need to think about, okay, do I want to pay up certain bills for a certain number of months? Do I want to buy stuff and keep it in my home for a certain number of months? Maybe it's supplies, maybe it's, personal items, maybe you have kids, and maybe it's things you want to buy for them, or things you want to buy for yourself, or things like that. Just think about that, and think about, things, because there are probably things that you want to save money up for. What are those things? But again, like I said, get your spending under control, and you need to be bringing in more money than you're spending. Live below your means. That's what they say. Live below your means, not live within your means. Because if you spend to the penny, to the dollar, everything that you bring in, you're never going to be able to save so you can invest or do anything like that. Plan ahead, save for anything. So think about, how can you live below your means? And again, like I said, how can you make more money Do you need to build a business? Do you need to get another job? Do you need to get a promotion? Do you need a raise? Think about ways that you can um, make more money, and then start thinking about, like I said, do you need to build a business? What do you need to do to make sure that you have access to the money that you want? Because if anything happens, you don't want to be worried about like money at all, is what I would say. But this might not be your immediate goal. Your goal at first might be to get out of debt. So get out of debt. Find ways to get out of debt. Um, there's a book called Debt Cures They Don't Want You to Know About. I love the book. It is a great book. It's genius. And the book tells you how to get out of debt, how to stay out of debt, and also, like I'm saying, then you need to start thinking about how can you make additional money, how can you save money, and so on, and how to invest your money so that you can make more, make your money work for you. You need to think about these things. All right, so I think that's it for now for the budgeting video. But again, I'm telling you, you need to think about how much money are you bringing in each month. And sometimes maybe it varies, but I think you get what I mean. For the year, let's say annually, because maybe you can add it up for the year, but not necessarily a month, or maybe a couple months, but not a month, because maybe it changes, okay? So think about what you bring in per month. Think about what your expenses are. What you bring in per month should be more than your expenses, because you need to save, you need to get out of debt, you need to have money available. And then, you think about like reading a book like Law of Success, and books like that, because they help you to think about and see you at the top. They help you to think about how you can um, put your money in different places. So for example, you need a certain percentage, that you're going to pay rent, you're going to pay insurance, going to buy food, you're going to have to pay debts, you're going to have to get an oil change, you're going to have to get, like I'm talking about, certain things that you want to do, like pay for a vacation, or an appointment if you need to go to an appointment, things like that. So think about that, and then you need to think about a certain percentage of your money that goes toward enjoying yourself. You need to pay yourself. You save money, but you pay yourself. That way you stay motivated to actually make money. So these are some things to consider, and I'll bring you more tips on budgeting, managing your money. But for now, hopefully that is good. Let me know if you would actually like me to create like just a little spreadsheet so you could write down and keep track of your monthly expenses. All right. Thank you so much for joining me. Looking forward to bringing you another video soon. As always, happy lightning fast manifesting, and talk to y'all soon. All right. Love y'all. Bye for now.